Hi there, today I'm going to show you how I store my kefir grains in the freezer to keep them nice and safe for when I want to use them in the future. If you've not been to my channel before, my name is Sue and I discuss all sorts of things around the carnivore diet and doing things in the kitchen as well. So today we're talking about kefir grains and how to store them safely so that you can use them in the future. When we're making kefir, there comes a point often where we don't want to use it for a while and we might have just had enough or we want to have a break. At the moment, I'm wanting to have a break from it, and so that's why I'm going to store them. I've done this in the past and I've tested it, and they will survive for over a year in the freezer as long as they're prepared properly. So I'm going to show you today how to do that. So I'm just making my last batch. I'm just straining it, my last batch of kefir to put in the fridge, and then I'm going to get these grains ready to go into the freezer. So if you've been watching any of my other videos, you'll know that I've been using SIBO yogurt, making SIBO yogurt and eating that, and I've been eating kefir as well to get more good bacteria into my digestive system, trying to resolve my SIBO, which I seem to be being quite successful at. But the dairy products, I think, are causing me to gain a bit of weight. So I thought I'd cut back on those for a little bit and see how I go. So I'm going just to see how that goes. Okay, so there's my last batch of kefir going into the fridge. Now, to prepare these grains, just got to keep my camera in the right place. To prepare these grains for freezing, all I do, so I've got my grains left here in my strainer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pour some filtered water or distilled water through those just to wash the as much of the kefir and milk off of those as I can. Now you want to make sure that you use either distilled or filtered water for this, because you don't want to use chlorinated water. It will kill your kefir grains. So I'm just mixing that around just to get as much of that milk and kefir off the grains, because I want to clean them up as well as I can. Okay, so there's my kefir grains there. They're fairly clean in there. Now I'm going to get some paper towel, and I'm just going to try and dry them off just a little bit, get rid of some of that water. So I just pop them onto here. Get rid of that jug. So I'm just going to roll them around a little bit. Might need some more paper towel there, they're quite wet. Pat them dry just a little bit. Some people do actually dehydrate their kefir grains to keep them. I haven't tried that, but apparently that's quite successful as well. But I've just found this to be just really easy to pop them into the freezer and keep them that way. All right, so this is my basically third lot of paper towel. I didn't end up letting them sit for as long as I thought I was going to have to. They are quite a lot drier than they were. You can see there's still a little bit of moisture there on the paper towel, but they're not too bad. They're not dripping with water anymore. And so that's probably dry enough. So what I do is I just get a Ziploc bag. You could use a small container or something if you'd rather do that. And I pop a couple of tablespoons of milk powder. So just cheap, this is just home brand Pam's milk powder. Just pop some of that into, see if I can do this without making a mess, into the plastic bag. So I just usually put a couple of spoonfuls in, like so. And you don't have to worry. I mean, I'm quite fussy about my milk that I use for my kefir, but this milk powder is going to be washed off once you bring your kefir grains out of the freezer. So that's why I just use the cheap stuff as long as it's just milk powder with nothing else added. And then I just pop my grains into the milk powder. Now just give them a bit of a shake up so that they're all nicely covered with milk powder. And then I just write the date on with a permanent marker. So today I think is the 11th of the 1st, 24. So you know how long they've been. So you know how long they've been in the freezer for. And because sometimes I end up with a couple of batches in there, so I just use the oldest ones. And that's it. And so that's it. If you just pop them into the freezer, they will be good now for at least 12 months. So I haven't tried them much longer than that. I think the oldest that I've pulled out of the freezer have been about 13 months. And I really honestly thought that they would be dead. When you pull them out of the freezer to start using them again, just put them into your strainer over a jug, the same as we had before, and just again put some distilled or filtered water through them to wash that milk powder off, and then just pop them into a jar with a little bit of milk and just leave them for about 24 hours or so just to warm up and kind of get settled and get back into doing their thing. Strain that first lot off. I don't usually use that, but once I've done that first lot for about 24 hours, then I go straight back into making my kefir again. These are tough little microbes. It's the same with the SIBO yogurt and the Al-Ruderi and the Al-Gasseri. I have away from some of those batches of yogurt in the freezer, and they work perfectly. So if you've got any comments or questions, just pop them below. If you found this video useful, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. And I thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you again another day. Bye for now.